What's going on? I'm Jabo.
I'm Yoshi.
Boost Morning Show, hanging out with the best, the one and only bar so clean you can bathe with him.
Hey!
KB,
Hey!
hey to the second letter, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for that intro. I'm going to take a recording of this and put it in my phone when I need to be encouraged.
Hey, listen, man. I listened to your if you guys haven't listened to KB's podcast, Southside Rabbi.
Southside Rabbi.
You and is it Raheem? Is that his name?
I mean,
listen, you guys do an amazing job trying to overdo each other with the introduction.
with the intros. Yes.
I was like, if I ever get the chance to talk to KB, I'm gonna try do a little bit.
I love it. That was well done. That was very well done.
You may know KB. You may know his song Church Clap, taking it back a little bit. Not Today, Satan, and the most recent 10K. We're also playing your song Si Canción with Blanco. So that song is a banger. We love it. Absolutely love it. Awesome. So how's life treating you, man?
Well, you know what? I am by God's providence in the coronavirus at home all the time now. And so I mean, I was for like 10 years, I've probably traveled on average like every other weekend, you know what I'm saying? So being home has been amazing. It's like, you know, figuring out that, you know, that you can, you know, I don't know, I feel like I'm not that the road is jail, but I imagine what it feels like when you get out of jail. Where it's like, oh my goodness, I can just I don't have to catch a flight. I have to be up at 4 a.m. and go through security and all of that has been extremely encouraging to my soul. Now that's being mixed with the fact that we're in a pandemic and it has affected my community and injured a lot of people with the actual virus and then economic distress as well. So that's not exciting. And I'm along with, you know, folks in my community praying about that and serving through that and giving to that kind of thing. So in some ways I've been grateful that I've been slowed down. But in other ways, you know, I'm mourning with those who are mourning because we're suffering a lot of loss.
Right. And that's what we're supposed to do is mourn with those who mourn. Now, slowing down, you're not currently driving, right? Because you're in your car,
I'm not
right?
driving.
But it looks like you're in your car.
I'm hanging out with the cows right here. Can you see them?
Yeah.
I often come here and write with them.
That's your writing spot?
Nah, it's not. I jog past here. I jog past here. I'm a city boy. These cows, but these cows are actually, it's like, I don't know. There's something majestic about it. I don't want to take it too far because I live in a community. I live in a community with a bunch of people who worship these cows, literally. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You can drive by and see them bowing before the cows. So yes, yeah. So I'm not that far, but I do appreciate that they're these majestic, you know, beings that I love jogging by them and kind of seeing the open field. So I like to come here and think for sure.
I was gonna say, does that smell help inspire you as you like jog past them?
It helps me control my breathing.
Listen, bro. So Florida is a lot of city with a mixture of a lot of country, and Florida finds its way onto the news a lot, as you and I both know. Me being from Orlando, Florida, you being from Tampa, Florida.
Yes.
Right? So
Florida.
Sorry?
Florida.
Florida. Right. The city is really what matters. That's just my opinion. But we end up in the news a lot. So we're going to play a game called Florida or Not.
Okay.
So the way in which we play this game is I'm going to say a headline. And right when I am done saying that headline, one of you or both of you at the same time, whoever gets it first, you have to say your name. Like KB, you would say KB, and Jabo would say Jabo. The first person I hear will get a chance to answer if they think this headline is from Florida or not. If you get it right, you get a point. If not, then the other person gets a point.
Gotcha.
All right,
Okay,
let's roll.
we're gonna play the first best out of 5. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. The first headline is man accused of sinking car to commit insurance fraud. Deputies find it
KB.
3 years later. That was you, KB. I heard that.
That's definitely Florida.
You are correct.
Bro, did you see that headline somewhere?
When you start off with a man does something, like when the news covers me, if they do something on me, they'll say Florida man or man, Bay Area man does Christian hip hop. Man gives, I don't know. I guess we just like hearing man
I
at
guess.
the beginning.
It just draws your attention in. Okay, so you got that point. Okay.
Okay, the next one is airport staff find 119 live tarantulas hidden inside a pair of shoes.
J-Bo.
Yes,
Not
Jabo.
Florida. Not Florida.
You are correct. It's from the Philippines.
I knew it.
Listen, we
That don't even sound like a Florida crime.
I don't even sound like it. I don't even sound like it. We're not that down with wildlife.
Oh, man.
Okay,
right,
next one is man accused of breaking into multiple homes eating victims' food.
KB,
Go, KB.
Florida.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Listen,
This is easy.
hey, I haven't been in Florida in like 6 years. That's not right. All right, 2-1.
Okay, the next one is
It's best at 3.
yeah. So
Okay.
so right now KB has 2, Jabo has 1. It's the best out of 5. So the first one to 3. Okay.
Okay.
The next one is school bans parents from throwing kids over locked gate if they arrive late.
J-Bo,
Yes.
Florida.
No.
You are incorrect.
Oh,
It's from France.
you've been away from Florida too long. I know the kind of crimes we commit.
I need to come back. I need to come back.
I'll give you a bonus one. This is just for fun. No matter what happens, Jabo, you cannot win.
Maybe one.
Yeah, he did. I'll give you just this last one. Are you ready?
All right.
Carjackers foiled because they didn't know how to drive a manual vehicle.
J-Bo,
Hmm.
Florida.
Again, you are incorrect. It's a Maryland.
That sounded Florida-ish. That had some Florida vibe to it. But again, like it's a Florida article because they always start with man does Florida man or man does something, and it's always a man. And
Man,
always,
congratulations, Florida native down there, man. Man, listen, don't take my card from me. I'm going back for Christmas. All right.
Okay, you're welcome.
So, His Glory Alone is your latest album. Like, what made you decide to start doing worship music?
So it really is just an expression of who I am. Like I love worshiping the Lord via song, and folks like Audrey Assad, David Crowder, my man, Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. What is his name? Why his name is escaping me right now?
It's okay. It's back here for me. It's like
that guy.
Yeah.
And then just hymns. I just love worship. You know what I'm saying? Hillsong. Like I love worship music, and then I also love hip hop. So it was like a why not? And I have played with that before with my song Crowns and Thorns. And yeah, by God's grace, I think we're able to merge them into something that feels like something new.
You know what, bro? Like, I'm not gonna lie. When you first did it, I was like, "Ooh, oh no, how's this gonna sound?" Before I heard it, right?
Sure.
Because it can go bad. It can go bad.
Yes.
And then
I've had many people tell me what you just said.
Yeah, and then I hear it and I'm like, "Ooh!" So
I think the trick for me is when you fuse things together, you never get a perfect representation of both. One side is going to be dominant, and for me it was always important to have hip hop be the dominant side. So it's not a rapper doing worship, or excuse me, a worship song that has rap on it. This is a rap song that has worship on it, and I think that is the key difference for me, that we don't want, because a lot of times folks are trying to find a way to get on Christian radio or get on to those spaces that are, massive.
Right.
But
More contemporary.
you want to be where Mercy Me is. So
Right.
so dudes will start singing in ways they don't sing and making music in ways that they don't make, because we're trying to fit in there. And then your fan here, your audience hears it and says, this is somebody else.
Yeah.
And so for me, the integrity was, let's remove all that out. That I'm not thinking at all about where this may be played. I am thinking particularly about what I want my listeners to experience when they play this for the first time. And I want them to know that it's me. I'm not buried I'm not buried underneath trying to hit some mold, but it's just this vibrant, authentic, organic expression that represents who I am, and then hopefully, speaks to where my people are.
Well, I would say you did a great job, because I know Boost, for example, is already playing 3, and I know more to come from songs from that album.
That's awesome, man. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you.
For sure, man. For sure.
Well, and kind of going off the album, how has releasing an album during COVID been different for you compared to previous albums when there was no COVID and you could tour and all that stuff?
You hit it right on the head. It's not being able to promote it is a challenge. And I got friends who are just not going to put music out until the pandemic is over, because not being able to tour it is challenging. Also, more challenging for me is not being able to make music videos like I want to, because certain music videos require, like We Right Here is a song that I'm excited about doing a video for. And we kind of got the idea of what we want to do, but to shoot it requires us, we can't social distance and shoot that video. Yeah. So we're not able to move with the visuals like we want to. But I have found a lot of patience. Like everybody gets that we're in a pandemic. Like, we get it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that folks have been gracious in the fact that we aren't able to do our regular kind of the things that we regularly do when we drop projects.
You know what? You're right. People very gracious, very understanding. With virtual concerts, people are all on board for it, because they're like, we get it. We're literally, it's so played out to say this, but we literally are in this together.
Yeah.
Some are dealing with it on maybe a grander scale than others, but we are literally in all of this together. And
Thanks.
With this downtime that you've had, I'm going to read this off because I don't want to miss anything that you have your hands in. Okay. With this downtime, even before the downtime, you were doing a podcast, making music videos, you're connecting with fans on social, which you connected with, even with us on social, at Boost 1019 plug. And, I mean, you have a clothing line, HGA, you have, having a family and kids. When do you find time to just rest?
That's a very good question. So just like I have obligations to those things, I have an obligation to rest. And I'm not just talking about just going to sleep. I mean, going to enjoy myself. That's taking my wife out. That is going to the gym. I love boxing, so that's getting some rounds in. That's getting a good meal. I believe that one of the most neglected areas in the understanding that we have American Christianity is what I call the discipline of goodness, meaning that in the way that you are disciplined in going to church on Sunday and disciplined in small group or accountability or whatever it is, that you have a similar discipline in enjoying your life. That God's goodness is God's goodness is to be experienced, not just to be, thought about or only seen as the sacred goodness. Like when I'm just praying or when I'm just doing a Bible study, that's the kind of good. So long we pit that. Like I pit spending time with God and reading a devotional from, Max Lucado or whoever, against going for a walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That if you're going to pray, you got to pray with your eyes closed in a closet somewhere. When the life is to be experienced in its fullness, that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So that you're be experiencing God across the spectrum and enjoying yourself is a big piece of that. So we plan that and we invest in that. If that means saving up money and buying a hot tub, that's a very spiritual thing. It really is.
Listen.
And so, anyways, I write that in, and that's a part of what I believe keeps me grounded. I have wrestles, have struggles. But in terms of being a healthy father and Christian and man, those things are contingent upon me wielding all that God has provided to glorify him with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm writing about this. This is the importance of therapy and Christians having good counselors in their lives. All of this is what God is. Last thing, I was just with a family member last Saturday. And she said to me, she said, God isn't answering my prayers. Why? And I said, what are you praying about? She said, well, I'm praying about this depression. And I said, Auntie, if you get a headache, do you pray that God takes the headache away? She's like, yeah. I said, but do you also take ibuprofen? She said, yeah. I said, do you see that as two different? They are two different things categorically, yes. But do you think that God is only involved in one of those? He's only involved with the prayer, but not in ibuprofen? How do you think ibuprofen was made? Where did they get the healing properties or the anti-inflammatory properties that are in ibuprofen? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
It's come from God, and you are to enjoy it to his glory and use it to his glory. Whether you eat or you sleep or you drink, do it all to the glory of God. So I said, in the same respect, mentally and emotionally, you're praying, which you should pray. But God isn't just saying, just wait till I magically take this away. He's also saying, I provided you with counselors and therapists and psychologists. That I bless that. That's a part of having a good discipline of goodness.
Listen.
The goodness is experienced and seen in all these different places, and Christians are often recalcitrant or suspicious towards. I don't want to make an idol out of it. I don't want to, why put salt on the steak? You know what I'm saying? Just eat it how God gave it. No, you understand.
You gotta marinate that.
Flavoring life is good. It's a good thing to flavor life, and God wants you to enjoy it. He made fruit delicious.
Listen, KB, bro. Let me tell you something. That was a word on word that I don't know about you, Yoshi, and as people who are watching, that is good for the soul and the spirit, and that needed to be said and heard. And I know it's going to bless people, because even in a time where we're a downtime, we're still trying to find ways to fill our downtime.
Right.
And something that you had touched on, you said like you take time to just rejuvenate and rest and to enjoy all the joys of life.
Yeah.
Because real quick, I've been in your comment section sometimes on social.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have trolls, and it can be very discouraging when people are saying things like, when they're questioning your faith or your walk.
Right.
And it's like, how do you not get discouraged? Is it that rest time that when you take it, does that help you stay encouraged?
Yes. Yes. And I mentioned my hot tub because I do this thing called Hot Tub Ministries. It's a joke where because I did probably like a year ago. Okay. I did invest in one above ground hot tub, and I remember like not wanting anybody to know I had it. When I think that I was vain. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to think that I already have friends that make fun of me now. They say, "Oh, you rich?" You know what I'm saying? That's a flex move, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I'm in this hot tub 3 days a week, like drinking water, like sweating and drinking water, relaxing and reading. It is a major piece of my peace. And I, this year I was like, I'm not going to be ashamed of that. That doesn't mean that you need a hot tub. There's all kinds of free ways that you can, that cost you nothing to protect your peace and enjoy God's goodness. But we need to be intentional about it. So I think that's a part of why a lot of those comments just bounce off of me. And to be honest with you, I don't even read them. Once I get past 20 comments or so, I don't read anymore anyway. Sorry if you're number 130 on the comment section. I just can't, because I don't want to get too inflated by praise, and I also don't want to get too inundated by criticism, because neither one of them really shaped me as a human being. What shapes me is how I live and the people that are around me. Those are the strongest voices, and I don't want to replace the voices of critics. Or here's the big thing that a lot of artists, well, I don't know if a lot of artists, but I'm thinking of a few artists who were doing this for years. Because you're in your comment section, you know every single criticism that people bring to you, you begin to merge the distant internet trolls criticism with the criticism of somebody that is in your life and actually knows you. And you can't discern the difference. So every time somebody says, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this, you just add them to the choir of trolls online. You know what I mean? I had a guy that did that to me for years. So to the point I said, well, I'm not gonna, now I can't help you because you jab me every time I talk to you about anything. And I can not even be trying to criticize you, but you're so warped by all these people coming at you that you just feel like everything's chasing you. So I know that I can fall into that. And so I try to, get a little bit of distance there.
That's smart. That's really good advice too for anyone, really, whether they have a fan base or a following or not.
Right.
Like you said, it's it can warp your thoughts. The people who are close to you, who you should worry about their thoughts and their opinions, they can't even speak to you because now you clump people in together. So that's really good. That's really good. That's really good.
You mentioned the word intentional and excuse me, you mentioned the word intentional and also strong voice, and made me think about, like, with your family as a dad, you're getting to be around your kids even more with COVID. And I saw that one of your kids enjoys, practicing, some boxing with you.
Yeah.
What's something, whether right now you're hoping to teach your kids or as they get older, what do you hope to, what's something you've been trying to teach your kids or hope to try and teach your kids about life and themselves?
One, I'm trying to teach them about prayer, which is very, very difficult for it to make sense in their minds. But I'm trying to bridge that gap and get them to pray. And I think the main way I do that is not the way that I don't like. I don't like that I basically just they have to see me praying and see God answering my prayers. Which is good, but I sometimes I wish I could just tell it to them, like, hey, let me teach it to you. But it doesn't work like that with kids. I'm learning. It's caught, not taught. So prayer, boxing, everybody in my house has to know how to fight. Every single person in my house has to know how to fight. Gotta know how to throw all 6 punches, the jab, the hook, the right hand, the right hook, the uppercut, the left and right uppercut. So so that's something I'm hoping to teach them. And then I want to just, like, financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? I want them to understand what debt is and what taxes are. I think I didn't understand that till I was 20 years old. And I want them to understand that very, 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 very early so that they can get good at saving and investing.
That's what's up. Now, KB, I do know that you weren't always a fighter. One time you got beat up as a kid. So when did you pick up boxing?
Yes, I lost pretty much every fight that I got in as a high school student. But so I picked up boxing at like 18.
Okay.
And I haven't had any physical altercations with anybody since then, like in the streets or nothing like that. Sometimes we can just talk. But I have had a lot of sparring though. I've fought a lot of people in the ring. And now I do typically do pretty well there now. Pretty good. So I just got to go back and find those dudes that beat me up in high school. I was small. I was super small. And I talked a lot. So I talked a lot of trash, and I was tiny. So it didn't go well all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I know that boxing is one of your hobbies. With COVID and you being home more, have you found or started any new types of hobbies?
Good question, man. No, I tried to get into PlayStation. I tried, but it just didn't work.
I'm sure your wife is thankful of that.
Probably,
Was it the
yeah.
type of games, or was it just the playing?
Well,
Was not the interest?
only thing I tried was Fight Night, and I had to get an old PlayStation to get, like, I had to get like a PlayStation 3 to even play, 'cause they don't even make that game anymore. But it just didn't work. It didn't work. I just was, it got boring. Sports games get boring. I think I need something. I may try again, like to do something like Call of Duty or something like that. But we'll see.
That's what's up, man. Well, we appreciate you making time. If people want to connect with you, I'm sure a lot of people know your Insta already, but in your Insta and your Twitter, can you just throw that at us real quick?
Yeah, no problem. My Instagram is KB_HGA. That stands for His Glory Alone. That's KB_HGA. Same thing for Twitter. Yeah, check me out.
We appreciate you. You come a long way. I remember the first time that I first saw you, it was a concert in Orlando. It was Lecrae brought you out. You were probably like, well, I don't know, 16. I don't know when they signed you. It was right after they signed you.
I was young.
It was young, and I was in that audience, and I was like, look at this, look at this, look at. I mean, I was young too. I was the same age, but still.
Yes.
Yeah, you come a long way, and so it's just amazing how God continues to use you and how you allow God to use you and what you're instilling into even your fan base and into your kids. And we just thank you for the art that you make, that you allow us to play. So we're thankful for you.
Well, JBO, Yoshi, God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to Boost Radio. I'm always trying to be a good ambassador and representative of you all's radio station, because it's been so good to us. And I cannot wait till we can connect again in person soon.
Awesome. It was J-Bo and Yoshi, Boost Morning Show. Appreciate you vibing with us. We're making our way out. May the good Lord guide you, bless you, and protect you on your journey always. Yeah, we love you, friend.
Yes, indeed.